Hey everybody, today we're going to start a video on, it's a camp I've already worked on once this year. Did some tree work, gave her a price on repairing the long driveway. We got to do a turnaround and a parking area for a little camp that she's going to start renting that hasn't been rented probably for 20 years by the looks of it. But we got to do a little landing. I went there this morning. I was hauling the excavator from one place to another. Went there with the excavator, dropped it off, and kind of punched a hole. So I've already started on it this morning, but I had to come back at the 2501. The road, it's a driveway, and it's not real wide, so I have the MX with the grader blade on it, but I think this box scraper will work better for what we got to do on this road or driveway. We're heading out now to get onto the job site. Alright, we're on that site. We're going to go down the driveway and I'll show you where we're going to start. Alright, so we got to do the driveway and we're doing a small, probably a turnaround parking area for two vehicles. So when someone's renting that little cottage up there, they want to be able to have them park here and walk into the back of it. Another thing we're going to be doing while we're here that got added to the list is there's a septic tank right there, and this cottage was probably put in. The original one that sat there was probably 30s. I think this got replaced or rebuilt in the 50s. And they had a septic guy come and look at the plumbing on this to see if it's something they could rent out. And everything's still intact. These were the old tanks that had they're like a well tile with a well cover. And what I'm going to do is clean this up in here. I got to do some work anyways to make a better path to come up here. I'm probably going to throw some boulders in, do a little bit of a retaining wall here. Top tile on this was actually a piece of steel, and I'm gonna just put a well tile in with a cover on that with a clean out. They had a septic guy come pump it, I guess last summer, and he said same thing, it's working, don't mess with it. They're only gonna rent that, they think 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks of the summer, just to probably take the curse off the tax bill here, is what I'm guessing. But I'm going to get on this and see if we can clean this up a little bit before we break for lunch. I just want to take the pine needles and leaves, and I chipped some of the brush up in this hole. I want to get that up off the ground before I put gravel in there. disturb too much here, but I got to be able to get up there with a machine. What I'm going to do when I'm done to make this disguise this a little bit, I'm going to go out in that wood line there and blow some of the leaves over this so that it doesn't look like it was just freshly dug. Alright, what we got is a little bit too much material here. What we're going to do is after lunch I'm coming back with the dump truck and we're starting to bring some better gravel in. We'll probably haul at least a 1-ton load out of here. I want to get down to her so I can put two. She only wants 3 or 4 inches, whatever it ends up being. She doesn't want this to be like a major thing. It's only going to get used once in a while. They're trying to keep the expense down because they got to do so much. We got to do some work down front, taking a patio out, grinding stumps. This may not even get rented this year or next year. They're just trying to pick at it. Alright, I'm gathering up some of these boulders off the edge of the road so that I can put them in that bank up there. Like I said, I got to retain that a little bit to make a little friendlier walkway up to that tank, where that tank is. Replace that tank cover. Probably should have changed the bucket, but I need them down front, so I only got a couple big ones. They'll probably be difficult, but do this without scarring up any trees. Basically every load I have to haul out, I'm going to haul one in, so I'll bring it in, dump it, and spread it out. funny how quick you can make a load of gravel disappear. But that's probably the worst. It was created on both sides, had that high point, and pretty much what I expected when I hit that high point. It's just nasty gravel with anywhere from like softball to football size rocks. So I'm just going to try to bridge over that. That's the agreement we made. She just wants to try to make it a little friendlier to get in here if you got a small car. And I'm going to haul this load of stuff off. I just want to show where we're at. I didn't have the camera with me this morning. I did some of this. Sick of muscling that cement cover around. Yeah, you figures. That always happens when you're by yourself. This cover is something I saved. I don't know how many times I've done. There's a lot of the old septic tanks around Carroll County that used to have like a well top on them with the cleanouts, and I actually found somebody that had old there's a guy a couple towns away from me that they do cement tanks, septic tanks, retaining wall stuff and everything. It's a pretty good size cement place. They do about everything you can think of concrete. They do designer walls and everything. But I went over and see him. He actually had a couple of those old covers still, so he gave me a couple of the covers that he had there, figuring no one else was ever going to use them. But I'm going to keep them around because it's weird how many times I've done this over the years. And they do make a plastic cover for that, that you put a couple screws in. But I had that, and I think that would be better. No chance of a young kid ain't going to be picking that up. And I'm going to bury right up to it. So that's going to be the only thing showing. I figured we'd show where we're at. I got that covered enough to... They don't really want grass or anything up here. I'm just going to throw a little seed. I'll bring some loom tomorrow. We'll loom it, seed it, and then throw some straw over it. Good enough, but... like I said, just something simple. And there was remnants of a cement cover that cracked, and someone laid that sheet metal over it, and they sprayed that orange. I think the insurance company walked the property. The guy didn't like what he see. That's probably one of the biggest reasons I'm doing this, actually. So they either had to repair it or fill it in. Now we can try to put this together. I'm just going to try to take those leaves and knock them back and forth and see if we can look like it when they came up here. And this turnaround, same thing. They want me to drag the leaves back in place. Just they want enough room to park a couple cars up here, so shouldn't be a problem. But there was some serious boulders in here. It's custom one place. It's the way it goes. Someone picks a place they want to park cars. I'm going to get down off this hill and see if I can knock those leaves around, make it look a little bit better. They want it just to go back to a natural look with the leaves. I did put some straw over it just to bind it up a little bit. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but like I said, I'm going to try to just knock some leaves around. They have all they can do to get up here and enjoy this place. They said they really don't want any maintenance at all. I'll come back and try to make this blend in a little bit better. I threw those last two boulders up into that hillside, and this down here is going to be a little landing for 2 cars to park. I think I'll bring the backpack blower with me and see if we can blow some of the leaves around, make that like it never happened. They were even concerned about how much I was going to mess up the edge coming in here. So I'm trying to like be a little bit neat. The woman that has this now, her parents had it. She's been coming up here since she was 5 years old. And she kind of wants to keep it looking like that, I guess. I'm trying to tape more stuff I'm doing with the excavator and tractors. Originally, my daughter edits most of my videos for YouTube, and she thinks people would get bored with it. But I'd like to see someone comment on it, what they think. Some people really like watching it. I've had a couple people say they really like, even though it seems long to me, they said they enjoy watching it, but I'd like to see what their overall feeling is on it. Someone can let me know, I'd appreciate it. Call it for today. I went down through. I may come back tomorrow with some more material. I gotta drop a few more loads down at the end there, and then there'll be a couple more up there, so I might bring the gravel here in the morning and go from there. But so that's done completely as far as what I got to do to it. I got to bring in a few loads of gravel, and they don't want stone, they want just, you know, she said like bank run gravel, but I am going to go over this with some processed 3/4 and probably put those rocks over in that corner a little bit, make them look better, just make them disappear. But on that, we're going to call it a day here anyways. Go back on this driveway job. I just dropped some gravel off that's off my screener to level things up. They don't want to get crazy. They still want it to be like a little camp driveway, but they had some areas that were getting pretty bad. Root systems were showing. A couple big boulders were popping up, so we dug them out. I think they're going to start coming up a little bit more, and small cars were having a hard time navigating some of it. But I just figured I'd show where we're at this morning. So we're going to come down through, finish the driveway today. We're going to finish this turnaround for them to have a couple cars that can park in here. And then next phase of the job is going to be ripping a patio out that's down near the lake and grinding. I think there's like 3 or 4 or 5 big stumps. We're going to grind because they're close to the lake. They're okay to grind them but not take them out. But I just figured I'd take a shot where we're at this point and go from there. show this land plane. It's a Land Pride product, but they call it a land plane. 72 inches wide. It's got the double cutting edges. I think they're 33-degree angle. One's tipped a little different than the other, but it kind of puts the fines back up on top. Even though I have a grader blade on my big MX series tractor, I always finish it off with this. And in this case here, where the road's so skinny and they don't want to beat up the edges, I decided to do this whole thing with this land plane. But I'll get a shot when we're done. I wish I would have got a shot from when we started, because no one's touched this driveway, I guess, for 10 or 12 years from what I'm hearing. And down near the water had washed out. There was a pretty good cavity on each side. But what I'm going to do now is go up and spread that last load. I got one load on the truck of the better processed gravel. It's called 3/4 road pack. We'll put a little of that over the top, and I'm probably going to put a load in this turnaround parking area that we're doing. I'm done with that first phase of this job. Driveway is good all the way down to that shed, and that's as far as I agreed to go with the first step. And then we cut this out and made it so a couple cars can park up here when they have a lot of company, or someone stays in that little cabin. But one of those deals where I'll talk to the homeowner before I go any further. You could put another 6 or 8 loads of gravel on this road if you wanted to. I don't think they want to. I think they just wanted to make it better. They don't want it like the highway. But this is way better than it was. There was a bunch of root system here sticking out. I drove back and forth to the dump truck with that last load on it to pack it down a little bit better. We are getting downpours this week off and on, but everything seems to be staying here pretty good that I put down earlier this week. But I just thought I'd take a shot. I think we'll probably be back here Monday if we're going to do that patio. She wants to touch base with me one more time on that, and then if not, we'll be on to the next one. But I just assume do that while my machine's here. Some of the small stuff we do, I think this year I'm going to stay busy doing this type of stuff. I don't think we're going to have any extravagant landscape stuff. Maybe one. I did give a price on one a week ago. I think that might be kind of cool. Other than that, I got more tree work coming, and I've actually stayed solid busy, I guess you'd call it. But again, I'm going to say, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. My videos, I'm going to try to start explaining a little more about how my business works. Like I said, it's a landscape business, but I don't say no to much. This one here, I think we will be coming back next week, ripping out a patio that had a big pine stump. The trees came down a few years ago in a big microburst storm they had here, and they ran out of money. Basically, the insurance company paid to clean the trees up, and that tree had been growing a big root underneath that patio and lifted that patio. There's a pretty good wave to it. So basically, I got the okay to grind 3 or 4 stumps that are down there. We're trying to get the okay on. There's one that uprooted, but I believe that will be the next video. I'm going to try to do that next week. I'm waiting for an answer on that one stump, and I want to make sure we're on the same page money-wise. That's the sad truth. You keep doing these small projects, they build up to a lot of money, and I like getting squared up once the bill gets to a certain point, and we're there right now. So I'm going to stop until I talk to the homeowner again. But again, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.